Hey Virgos, it's Veroosh. Welcome to my channel, and this is your reading for the eclipse that's happening on the 26th of May. It's a full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. I will explain the astrology first and then do readings for you guys. 2 readings today to be exact. I am encouraging people to check out the other signs readings because each one, the astrology part has a different astrology explanation. So I tried to kind of highlight which aspects of the astrology pertain to you, and then we can talk about it here and then carry on. Members, I'm going to be doing a dedicated video for you guys with astrology and tarot, and it's going to go through the major transits that are happening right now over the next month in your sign. So expect that reading to be more of a spiritual reading, less very like I don't know, just less practical and more metaphorical. I think members like those kinds of things a bit more than everybody else. Like a lot of you guys like it, but it's a special acquired taste. You have to be really into metaphysics to kind of like it. Okay, so the full moon is happening on the 26th at 4:11 until 4:25, but it actually begins at 1:49 Pacific time. That's the West Coast, California, Oregon, and Washington State, and here in BC. And then it continues until 6:49. So it kind of like it gets darker. It starts to cover it up, and then it for about half an hour or 20 minutes, it is completely covered, and then it will move off the exact eclipse, right? And so if you're on the West Coast, we're lucky because we are going to see the full eclipse, and then the moon's going to set. So if you guys get a chance to see it, beautiful. Here it's overcast and I'm so bummed, but the moon on a full moon has a way of parting clouds. I don't know if you guys know this. So I'm hoping that by tomorrow morning it will be clear. If you're on the East Coast in New York or, you know, Toronto or something like that, then you are going to see the beginning stages, the earlier stages from like 3 to 5, you know, which is still beautiful, but it's not going to be the full eclipse. The full eclipse will happen once the moon sets below the horizon. But it's still worth it, and if you're east of that, then you're not going to see it. So that's kind of the deal on that. The eclipse is happening in your 4th house, Virgo, and it's informed by the 10th house because that's where the sun is with the north node. There's something about your home and family that is changing right now. So you're redefining relationships with family members. The hierarchy of your home life and your family life is changing. And I think for many of you also, there could be like rethinking things about your house specifically. Like maybe there's a shift in where you live or you know, especially I feel as though it's self-directed. So don't worry about it being particularly like imposed on you. I feel like you're taking a look at things and you're assessing them, and you're rethinking what you want in the home and how you want your home kind of organized. And there's some outer world things that are informing that. Namely, like you want something out of life that you're not getting the way that things are established now. And so by switching all of that up, you're allowing yourself to kind of set yourself free and go in a particular direction. Now, for some of you, this opportunity in the home to change things up will come informed from this area in the 10th house, which means there's something external to you that will happen that will push a situation that you're probably already thinking about to the next step, to the next level. That comment about family order was a real download. And it felt like there was several family members, like maybe, you know, parents, aging parents, and a couple, and maybe sisters or brothers, cousins. And so that hierarchy between everyone, look, I'm trying to draw it for you guys, but that hierarchy between all the people, let's say that that's kind of like, oh, you can't see it, sorry. So let's say each pine cone is a family member. So let's say that if you're looking up like this way, this is your family organization, but for whatever reason this is going to get shifted around. Maybe this person gets busy, maybe this person needs a break, maybe this person got older and can take on more responsibility now. So there's like a fundamental shift around your home in case of for hierarchy is changing, and it's going to make things easier, so look forward to that. The Virgos, don't shoot the messenger. I know I'm going to call this reading this because I'm going to tell you something. If you get upset easy by like intense messages or things that are like, look at this, then jump to the tarot, okay? So let me tell you what's going on. So if you are a Virgo in the early stages of Virgo, if you have sun, moon, rising in the beginning or end of Leo, that's me. Hi. We have some funky energy going on here with this eclipse. Basically, Jupiter is opposite us at this time. Good for love, yes. Good for partnership, yes. Building bonds, improving bonds with people, sure. But Jupiter is on a square to the eclipse, right? So there's something to do with luck that's not a part of all the shifts that are happening. This eclipse is purely to do with fate, with the North Node's eclipses. It's like something is pushing you forward to what it's meant to be. No flowery language or luck and all these sorts of sugarcoating life, which is Jupiter, are not a part of the equation. And that's actually a helpful thing, because sometimes Jupiter flowers things up, sugarcoats things, and we miss the point, and then you have to kind of dig around in life to figure out what the point of a situation was. You're not getting this here because Jupiter is taking the energy in this direction. So something's going on over here for you, probably around partnerships, relationships, whether you're married, whether you're single, there's something going on there. The energy is being pulled, right? We're in the center. The earth is right here. This is just a, fabricated design, but the earth is here. And so it's pulling, the energy is pulling towards Jupiter. And that's where the square is being created, because this energy is the dominant energy at this time for the eclipse. And this is about essentially releasing the south node, right? With the eclipse, the light coming in, lights turn off, turned on, and it's like Clue mystery murder game. I'm not saying anybody's going to pass, but when the lights turn on, the person is like found with a candlestick to their head on the floor in the kitchen or something. This isn't the case. It's just a funny analogy. Don't take it seriously. But it is like turning off the lights, turning them on, and all the furniture has been shifted around, So that's the eclipse energy. And for you, it's in the 4th house. And so it is going to change energy towards a new direction. And thereby, something that you've been stuck in trying to get up here in terms of career, personal progress, interaction of a professional nature with others, reputation, maybe this is just a download that just came in. Maybe some of you are living in a place where there is a reputation issue, where there was gossip. That sort of, the worst part of gossip is it's behind the back, and then people don't confront you with it, and you never are able to finally address it. So there's always people, holding an opinion about you without you being able to speak directly to it. That's what's coming through as a download. That's not true for everyone, but someone out there I'm sure is going through something like this, a Virgo. And so with this eclipse, something's going to happen. Like the right conversation is going to happen between two people, and a piece of gossip is going to get clarified, and that's going to release this blockage. So whatever is happening that is stopping you from moving forward, and we all have these things. Life is a process of breaking through challenges, right? Whatever blockages you're breaking through, this is going to help. So there is a fundamental shift around the home. Remember the family idea, and it's allowing you to kind of move forward. You're liberated towards going in this direction. And this is a beautiful transit sun with the North Node that only happens once every 10 months. So it's like one of those transits astrologers are like, we get excited about. And quite honestly, Virgo, this Jupiter transit in the 1st house, Squaring the nodes is actually kind of good because it doesn't fill your circumstance up with unnecessary things that are going to distract you. So if you're at the beginning of this position, right, if you're here with me with your transits at the beginning of Virgo, you're on a big square to this energy. So your energy is pulling this way, and this is called a grand cross. You can kind of see something similar here. What you're seeing in the chart is not a grand cross, but that's kind of how it looks, like that big red square. And so basically there's a conflict of interest between something pulling you towards partnership and relationships. You're pulling towards yourself, introverted, you want to do your thing. And then fate is taking you in this direction. So you might feel, depending on how flexible you are and how willing to accept change and transformation, there's just going to be little shoves. And I would really encourage you to, as much as you want to go in your own direction, do your own thing, you have to honor that. But also at the same time, I would say be flexible, because as something changes and plans change and you're influenced, allow yourself to let go, allow yourself to embrace something new, all of those things. Now, here's the next thing, and this is for Virgos in the late degrees, okay? So if you are a late placing Virgo on the cusp of Libra, this is for you. So you guys in the middle, you get a little bit of both, but nothing too intense, okay? But if you're over here, this is the crazy transit. So don't shoot the messenger with this one. We have a trine to Pluto, and then we have a trine to Lilith. So it's a grand trine in Earth between Taurus, Lilith, and Pluto. And it's going to be intense. And as Lilith enters towards the 26th degree, we talked about Algol on Instagram. If you want to follow me there and check out that video to find out what Algol is, Medusa's star. So be careful for power dynamics, because Lilith is huge power transit. It's all about transit, but kind of covert and violent, right? And not good. Not that violence will happen to you. When I say violence, I mean implicit violence. So even like harsh words, harsh opinions, harsh thoughts, those kinds of things. And then Pluto in the 26th degree of Capricorn. Pluto after 26th degree, now in the last 4 degrees of Capricorn. I know it's going retrograde, but this is like the big finale of Pluto in Capricorn, and it's going to get pretty intense. So what you're looking out for, Virgos who have placements up here, is look for any circumstances that are drawing you into power dynamic stuff. It makes me think of Hegel. I don't know how many of you guys have read it, but phenomenology of the spirit, and it has all to do with like power dynamics between different factors. So yeah, just hash it out, work it out, and I would say be avoidant, because it can suck you in. So let's say 2 friends are fighting, right? One friend did something horrible to another friend, but the other friend isn't kind of letting go of the situation. You might be drawn into this situation. And so it's best for you to sort of be smart about how you allow that energy to influence you and how you interact with it. So that's the big download. I've thought about this before, about how, because it's an intense transit. And with the eclipse, Virgos in the late degrees, early Libras, it's not going to be intense, but I think it's starting now, so you can nip it in the bud. So if you see that conflict brewing, if you see some power dynamics around you that are like Pluto power dynamics are like, I don't know, it's almost like wrestling, like intense struggles and like very like performative, or like huge personalities, over the top kind of I think hyperbolic is the word for it. So it's sort of like you'll note it's different than normal life stuff. And so if you see a situation like that coming up with this hyperbolic, kind of grandiose, performative, beating of the chest sort of energy, whether it's a person or situation, for the next month or so, take a step back and, be on the side of not saying anything, be quiet and calm and cool and relaxed. I know you can do it. And we'll talk about more, Virgos, this part. And don't be afraid. I'm telling you so you avoid it, so you don't get into problems. Okay? So now let's take a look at your cards. I was really nervous to do your guys' reading. But I'm always nervous. The tarot just comes naturally, but the astrology, I'm always worried how I'm going to explain it. So I'm glad, I think that went fine. So I hope you guys have a nice eclipse. And remember, something's being released so that you can kind of move forward in life, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's see the next message. This is a thematic message, so it's just meant to be kind of abstract. So we have 10 of fire. It's like a theme metaphor for the rest of the reading. 10 of fire is 10 of wands in other decks, but this is not a regular tarot deck. This is Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and I stand by that this is one of the best contemporary decks. I don't think it's for beginners. If you're a beginner, when I started on the Crowley deck, which is not a beginner deck, if you have the mindset and the patience for not knowing and just being in like confusion with cards, or if you like to challenge yourself and you're a beginner, go for it. But I think it's a like intermediate to advanced deck, and it's very rich. It takes a long time to learn and sit with and understand, and it's cool, and it's a little bit different than tarot. So if you're kind of bored of tarot, because many of us use it so much, this is a good alternative, the best alternative out there. Okay, so within still like a tarot-like system. Anyway, so we have 10 of wands, and then we have the 2 of pentacles. There's Ostera, right? Spring with her eggs. So, do you know that there's only one reference to Ostera in like ancient literature? So there's only like, because a lot of ancient literature gets lost. I feel like that's a very Virgo vibe too. But I guess we are in August and September, so maybe not so much. Okay, so then we have let me know how you feel about Ostero, if you know anything. Then we have, sorry, I've been digging around in the dirt, so my nails get dirty a little bit. So we have the 11 of fire. So this is like a page of fire, but they're not necessarily pages. These are like full of energy messengers. And then we have the 4 of cups. You know what this is telling me? Again, I know this reading is going to be don't shoot the messenger, because there's going to be a little finger wagging in here. I have to tell you something. So this 4 of cups to me really points to you Virgos with me at the beginning here, especially those of us underneath 11 degrees right here, opposite Jupiter. Right away I connected, and this told me, do not pay attention to yourself so much that you miss everything else going on. Your energy is much better spent with you. You have something to project, to create, not projection in an unhealthy way, but you have something to project and to give. And don't get stuck, reflecting, or just like, look at him. This is the 4 of cups, but it's done differently than the tarot. He's so enamored with himself and kind of fixated on his own life. And isn't it neat that he does? I always find something new in these cards. And I know this is maybe many of you have saw this before, but it just clicked. So he doesn't have a right eye, right? And then the mirror on the other side has the eye for him. So he kind of like sees, he's a seer. Very cool message. That's why I love this deck, because it has like little secrets. Okay, then we have the 9 of pentacles, which is Venus in Virgo, if you're watching for your Venus sign. I feel as though there's some really big win for you ahead of you, Virgo, but right now you're being challenged with introspection. There's 2 sides to this. On the one hand, the message comes through as like, don't navel gaze too much at this time, don't self-reflect too much. But the other side is like, look at him, like, he's looking at himself, but through looking at himself, he's seeing, it's not like a third eye, but it's kind of like a third eye. He's seeing way beyond, awesome card. Okay. It is a new beginning for you, Virgo, and in the direction that you're going. And the legacy of this is that you are going to find great success and progress in the direction that you're seeking. But right now, there's a lot of force that you have to place in front of you, and there is going to be someone with whom you find resonance, probably somebody who's youthful in energy, whether they're older or younger than you. It doesn't matter. Youthful energy that helps you push forward. And for whatever reason, you are going to self-reflect or sit there and think about circumstances. Something's going to bring you into that mindset. And the message that came through very clearly was, like, sit there and appreciate it and think about it, but don't let it sort of rule you. Don't let it sort of, I don't know, just don't let it overwhelm you or get you stuck. You know, don't get stuck in that process. Okay. And, you know, if you're new, I do this sometimes. I have a window in front of me. I read in front of a big, big window. And the cloud came over. But one of my favorite things is happening right now. There's a break in this. It's cumulus clouds, so they're the fluffy clouds, lower clouds. And there's a hole in them. And there's light coming through the hole. I wish I could show you guys. Very beautiful. So I take that as a sign that there's some kind of something hopeful coming to you, light coming through the clouds, something beautiful, something's watching over you. Maybe one of you, I got shivers, has an angel watching over you, or a person who's passed. And listen to your heart for my reading. So it's not meant to be necessarily literal, you know, but listen. And if your heart's like, yes, this is for me, then take it as it is. Okay. So these are just messages. We're just chilling. Okay. So we got to giddy up. There's a lot to say. It's been a while. Okay. So here is the next message. Now we're going to get into the tarot. Okay. So I have the King of Wands. Who is this person? Sag, Leo, or Aries. Secondary transits in fire. Sag, Leo, or Aries. And then Six of Swords. I feel as though somebody's moving on from being around you, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It feels as though, and I'll say this again, don't shoot the messenger. For some of you, it's a spirit guide that's moving on. It feels like very much a protector energy. This person has been with you for a while, and now they're moving on because it's time. And they know that, like, they wouldn't move on unless they know this is the right time to move on and you're safe and this is the right place. Then we have the Hanged Man. Okay. There's a little bit of uncertainty about which way things are going to go. And so let's see. But things are not being said about what the outcome of the situation or what people are thinking. And then there's the Devil. Wow, intense. This is Capricorn energy. I feel as though, and don't shoot the messenger, that I feel as though somebody with bad intentions is involved in this situation. This person's an autonomous thinker. I'm thinking that this is like a real life situation for some of you as well. It feels as though somebody has been kind of Judas, doing the Judas thing. So they're sort of sitting by. Judas betrayed Christ in Christian iconography. So Judas is sitting by, a betrayer. And, you know, like they're like saying subtle things. That's what I'm picking up on. Saying subtle things to influence this person's thinking. But I feel as though at first I think that they had some kind of hook in on that person. Maybe because that person didn't know you or there was like less information. But look, here in the fourth house, that's what we're talking about. And I feel as though now this person knows a little bit better you or the situation, and they're more impartial and less opinioned about the situation. So you've waited it out, and I think you've came out on top. And whoever has been scheming against you, because this is very much a scheming energy, they've delayed your life with something for a little bit, but they're pushed back. So whatever they're saying, they're being silenced, and there's like a quietness about it. Okay, next message, we have boom, Tower, change of opinion, change of direction. And then we have the Six. So this person hasn't, this person has an intuition of their own. They have a very good energy. So let's clarify. There was a message also about a protector, a spirit guide. That's separate. But there's someone in your life who has been around, who's been told negative things about you, but yet they have their own strong intuition and they like you. That's the Six of Cups. Six of Cups can be like very intense, but it can also mean that somebody just likes you, like you like another person. They're friendly, they're nice, but not in a, like not even as friends, but just like a positive disposition. This person has a positive disposition towards you, and I think that they're moving on from whatever negativity has been kind of imposed. There's a really awkward, and it's making this person look like a liar. So this person is starting to see that this person has been scheming and lying and trying to push their own agenda. This person is like devil energy, not necessarily Capricorn. If it's Capricorn, devil's not bad. But if it's not Capricorn, we have a problem. This person is very one-track minded. They have their opinion, and they're sort of like Judas trying to influence a situation, because I don't like a Karen, and I don't like that word Karen. We'll talk about why Karen is problematic, but Karen, like I have an opinion about this person and I'm going to impose it and even create a situation to make it fit what I see rather than interacting with what's happening, right? That's the issue of Karens. But yeah, Karen's problematic, so sorry for using that term. But anyway, so we'll talk about that somewhere else. But the Nine of Wands with the devil, this person who's self-righteous, and they're how do you say, when this person first heard the rumors, they were shocked, offended, or even like triggered. But as time goes on, lies can only last so long, and then they start to see the truth. They see you smile, they see you be nice, and they see you're kind, and they start wondering, why is this person saying those things? So it just things start to, at first they may not have had anything to go off of, but now they're starting to see the truth, and it's giving them, this person is having their opinions. They're starting to really see things. And then we have the Strength card. That's a relationship issue between these two people. They're going to have to figure it out between them. And then we have the Two of Swords and Strength. Because this person has been subdued, it feels as though this person has been in your way for a while. Because this person has been subdued, you now have strength to make some choices for yourself and go in a new direction. On the bottom, we have the Six of Wands, which is victory. So essentially, this feels like a long-term situation in which you were pigeonholed and you were stuck in, and now you're free to go and go on your merry way. Okay? So congratulations, Virgo. Patience is a virtue, and I think this reading, maybe I'll call this reading Patience is a Virtue, because if I call it like Don't Shoot the Messenger, it's just going to invoke more hostility, yeah? So, members, I'm going to do your videos soon. I just realized that I don't have to rush for the eclipse, and I'd rather give you guys a really good eclipse reading and then work those ways, the other readings in. I'll post them in the description when they're ready. I also did the North, that's what I was forgetting. I did the North Node in Gemini video last year in May. It's still relevant, and with the eclipse, it pertains to the eclipse in parts. So go and check it out. It's in the description as well. Okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day, and welcome back. Thank you. Bye.